What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy John 25, and tonight I'm going to do my WWE Raw review and results. So you guys are new, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's get started. Raw itself was just Raw sucks. That's all I think about Raw. The show itself sucks. But anyway, tonight's WWE Raw opens with a graphic in the memory of legend Carmella, who passed away at the age of 70 on Sunday. We cut to the standard Raw intro video. This was very sad that a great WWE legend, Carmella, who passed away in his age 70s. It is so sad, but he will not be forgotten. I'll grow watching his matches, man. So my thoughts and prayers goes out to the WWE legend Carmella, who passed away in the 70s, so he will never be forgotten. I just have to put this out there. But anyway, we're live on a tape delay from the WWE Performance Center. Florida Tom Phillips welcomes us to Raw on the USA Network as the crowd development trainees cheers. He joins by Byron Saxton and Samoa Joe. The announcers hype tonight's show. We'll go right to the ring, and Samoa Joe is with a microphone. He hypes up this SummerSlam contract signing between Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins. Joe says this contract signing is a bit different because one of the competitors will be signing a contract that also makes him a WWE superstar. Samoa Joe goes on and introduces Seth Rollins first. Out he comes with Murphy. Byron says Joe must avoid a physical confrontation with Rollins tonight, and if he wants to keep his job, because Joe is not medically cleared to compete. Alright, Dominic Mysterio is out next. He is carrying a kendo stick. Rollins isn't happy with this. Joe takes the stick and jokes that this will be safer with him. Joe and Rollins have words now. Rollins disagrees with Joe and rants about how he's giving Dominic Mysterio and Aleister Black options, but they all made the wrong choice, and that may go for Joe if he's not careful. Rollins goes on about how he made sacrifices for the greater good. He wonders when this will finally be enough. Dominic says never going to be enough. Dominic says Rollins makes excuses for ungodly things that he does. He says Ray and Aleister aren't the same. Rollins used the greater good as an excuse, but greater good. He fight for himself, Dominic says. Rollins says Dominic is so ungrateful. Rollins says Dominic is here about to live his dream as a WWE superstar and doesn't even realize it. Realize all because of Rollins. Rollins says he should be thanked. Dominic says Rollins is right. This was his dream, but now his dream is to kick Rollins, at SummerSlam. Rollins laughs, but Dominic stares him down. Rollins says, we all know Dominic wouldn't last seconds in standard wrestling match with him. Rollins says he is the best wrestler of his generation. So he's going to do Dominic a favor. Since Dominic seems handily with the candlestick, Dominic can bring that or any other tool in the toolbox to SummerSlam. Rollins wants there to be no excuses for Dominic or his family when Rollins ends his career. They both signed the contract. Dominic also signs the contract, making him a WWE superstar. Rollins congratulates Dominic and calls for a round of applause for the newest WWE superstar. Now get the out of my ring. Rollins has a match with Humberto Carrillo. Next, he tells Dominic. He tells Dominic to grab a seat and take notes for what he's forcing Rollins to do in 2 weeks at SummerSlam. The music hits and out comes Humberto Carrillo. Alright. Seth Rollins versus Humberto Carrillo. Alright, this match didn't even last long, so I'm just gonna read it anyway. Humberto Carrillo makes his way out and greets Dominic at ringside. Seth Rollins gets ready as we go to commercial break. Alright, back from the break, and Rollins has control of Carrillo. Mysterio watches from ringside with the candlestick. Carlito fights free and mounts offense for a pop. Rollins goes to the floor for a breather. Carlito stays on top of him and beats him around. Rollins sends Carlito into the plexi barrier. Rollins returns to the ring as Murphy tries to attack Carlito, but Mysterio makes the save. Alright, Carlito and Rollins go at it in the ring now. Carlito dodges a shot and levels Rollins with a kick to the head. Rollins crouches Carlito on the top and climb up for a belly to back suplex. Carlito knocks him to the mat. Murphy gets on the apron for a distraction. Mysterio knocks him off the apron with a candlestick. Rollins catches Carlito on the way down and then super kicks him. Rollins comes back with a powerbomb and a stomp. Rollins calls for the pin while staring Mysterio down. The winner of the match, Seth Rollins. And I said this on Twitter. Humberto Carrillo takes another L. That's just my opinion. Humberto Carrillo is a loser. Alright. It says, after the bell, Murphy attacks Mysterio at ringside and stumps away. Murphy rolls Mysterio in the ring and they double team him to boo. Mysterio avoids a stump and they keep fighting, but Rollins and Murphy get the upper hand again. Murphy brings the candlestick in the ring and unloads on Mysterio with it. Murphy whips Dominic's shirt off and Rollins continues to the candlestick shot. Rollins traps Dominic in the ropes and continues the beating while taunting Mysterio with Rey Mysterio in the camera. Murphy also delivers a shot to Dominic's back from the floor. Beating continues and we go to commercial with Rollins looking on from the stage with Murphy. Oh my God! Did you see the marks on Dominic Mysterio's stomach and back? That was so brutal and nasty. The way they showed that was just nasty. But I'm proud of Dominic Mysterio for standing up for himself. So I gotta give WWE credit where credit's due. But Dominic Mysterio standing up for himself, I like that. But anyway, back from the break, we see what just happened between Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio. The announcers play up the seriousness of the situation. We get a video package of the recent attacks by Retribution. Alright. Andrade versus Angelo Dawkins. This was a decent match. Decent match, by the way. The winner of the match, Angelo Dawkins. Alright, after the bell, Garza checks on Vega while Bianca Belair yells at him. Belair brings Vega into the ring, but Vega retreats back to the floor. Belair stands tall in the ring and taunts Vega as we go back to commercial. Selena Vega versus Bianca Belair. This match was okay, but Bianca Belair won this match. Bianca Belair defeated Selena Vega. Okay, then we go to. Okay, let me read this. After the match, Belair stands tall in the middle of the ring as we get replays. Charlotte Caruso interviews Belair and Dawkins in the ring, asking about the evidence on the poison. Belair brags on beating Vega and won't give an update on Montez Ford's condition. Dawkins says they are the Street Profits at SummerSlam and is 2 weeks away. There's no way Ford is missing the biggest party of summer. Dawkins says they're bringing the Ruckus and the Red Cups, and they want the smoke. Vega, Andrade, and Garza taunt Dawkins and Vega from the stage. We see Apollo Crews retain the WWE United States title over MVP last week. MVP is showing backstage now with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. He will be hosting a special investigate edition of the VIP Lounge tonight. Back to commercial. Alright, so the VIP Lounge, MVP and Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are in the ring. So let's get started. Okay, back from the break, and out comes the Hurt Business. MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. MVP says this is very different VIP Lounge because he's not in a mood to pop bottles. He is congenious war rather pop knees and legitimate. Okay, they talking about the conspiracy of the lights flickering on and off. and Apollo Crews came out, and that's all I gotta say. But anyway, let me read this. MVP goes on about how there really is a conspiracy in WWE. He goes on about how he's a world-class competitor and how is he supposed to win titles in these unsafe working conditions. He blamed last week lightning issues on WWE United States Champion Apollo Crews. MVP says the lights beat him last week, not Crews. MVP wonders where Crews is. He goes on, and out comes Apollo Crews as the music hits. Crews dismissed MVP's complaint and brags about walking around with this expensive title MVP has created. MVP says all Crews does is make bad decisions. Crews says he's allowed to make bad decisions because he's a bad man. Okay, they continue trading shots on the mic. Crews standing outside of the ring on the floor. Goes on and says the only lights going out at SummerSlam will be MVP. MVP orders Lashley and Benjamin to hit the floor in attack. Crews immediately runs in and sends MVP out with Lashley and Benjamin. Crews picks up the VIP lounge couch and tosses it out onto the Hurt Business. We go to commercial break. Apollo Crews versus Shelton Benjamin. Decent match for what it was. The winner of the match, Shelton Benjamin, he pins the United States Champion Apollo Crews. So Shelton Benjamin defeated Apollo Crews. Alright, let's move on. Okay. Then, after the match, immediately hits the ring and goes for the full Nelson, but MVP calls him off. MVP says he needs Crews healthy at SummerSlam so he can take the title from him. MVP tells Crews that he's looking out for him. Crews responds with a big kick to the head, dropping MVP. Crews immediately retreats with his title as the music hits. Tom has some breaking news. He shows us footage from moments ago with Retribution throwing 2 cinder blocks through a front window of the WWE Performance Center. They were confronted by a security guard before that, but they yelled at him and told him to go. Back to commercial. Okay. I'm glad that Mickie James returns. She returns on Monday Night Raw. Okay. It says Sarah Screever is backstage with the returning Mickie James. Mickie says she's happy to be back and lead the locker room. But if the girls think she doesn't have gold on her mind, they're sadly mistaken. Lana and Natalia walks up to interrupt, laughing at Mickie. Mickie ends up insulting them both and walking off. Lana and Natalia, who are dressed alike both, says Mickie was so rude. Didn't really care about this backstage segment. I didn't really care. Tom lead us to a video package on last week's Raw Underground debut. Okay. Ivar is backstage with Demi Burnett of The Bachelor. Eric, Cedric, Alexander, Ricochet walk up looking for Ivar to get ready for their match. Demi says it's her fault because they were talking. She thinks Ivar is so cute, but Eric's not so much. Demi walks off and the others laugh at Eric. Back to commercial. The Viking Raiders, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander versus Akira Tozawa and his ninjas. This match sucks. This match was garbage. Okay. The winner of the match, Eric, Ivar, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. Then the 24/7 champion, R-Truth pins Akira Tozawa to win back his 24/7 champion. I didn't really care about that. I didn't really care about that title. Okay, but anyway, Charlie Caruso is backstage interviewing Drew McIntyre with the WWE champion. Drew McIntyre asking about last comments on Randy Orton and if he will have an eye on Orton's match tonight. Drew says he wouldn't say something if he doesn't mean it. He goes on about Orton taking out other people for self-preservation to make sure he's on top of WWE for many years to come. He took the torch from the WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley years ago. Drew promised to rip that torch from Orton's hand at SummerSlam, kick him in the head as hard as possible, Ken Drew says Orton will realize that Evolution just passed him by. Drew goes to walk off, but Caruso asks what happens if Kevin Owens happens to rip the torch from Orton tonight. Drew says if that's the case, he and Owens will be having a long talk about the future of Raw. Back to commercial. Peyton Royce versus Liv Morgan. This match sucks. I don't even care. The winner of the match, Peyton Royce. Alright, let's move on. After the match, the Iconics celebrate and leaves as the music hits. Riot joins Liv in the ring and looks like there's some tension between them still. Shane McMahon approaches his security guard in the back, who's the WWE Performance Center training Jordan Omar B. Hen. They are ready for tonight's WWE Underground fights, which Shane tells the camera is up next. Back to commercial. Okay, back from the break. Shane McMahon is hosting another Raw Underground segment. The first fight is already going on as Kyle Boom goes at it with Riddick Moss. They brought off the platform over some steel leaning against the wall. They fight back in the ring as Shane works on the mic. There are men and women surrounding the platform again tonight. Moss ends up going for a Bloom Eye and then dropping him with a big right hand. Shane and the referee calls it. And Shane hops on the ring and talks things up. Moss yells out and celebrates the win. Shane wonders what will happen next. This is what I wrote. Raw Underground, I'm not feeling it. Yeah, it says Raw Underground, not feeling it. And I know Tim is going to agree with me. Me and Tim is not feeling the Raw Underground. That's the second week in a row that we're not feeling the Underground. But anyway, let me move on. Asuka versus Bayley. This match was fantastic. This match itself was fantastic. I ain't had no complaints. I watched this match for what it was. I enjoyed it. So I gotta give WWE credit where credit's due. Asuka versus Bayley. This match was fantastic. But anyway, alright. It says the winner and new number one contender to Sasha Banks, Raw Women's Champion for SummerSlam, Asuka. This match was good. After the match, Banks hits the ring as Asuka goes out and recovers on the outside. We go to replay as Asuka celebrates her title shot as the two sides stare each other down. Alright. Shane McMahon welcomes us back to the Underground. Arturo Ross is on the platform now. Shane talks up Arturo's amateur background. The other fighters change, but Ross easily sends him to the floor. He charged again, but Ross fights him off and slams him. Ross pounds on the other fighter and keeps him down. They told to get back up and fight after Ross dominates. Ross ends up slamming the other fighter on his head, getting the win. Shane raises his arm as the referee checks on the losing fighter. Shane is asked if anyone wants to take Ross on. He says, "We'll see what comes up next." Back to commercial. Then we see the woman gets him. We see Shayna Baszler gets involved in the women's Raw Underground. Shayna Baszler was taking down some women in the Underground. They didn't really care about that. Alright, the camera cuts back to the parking lot, and as we see the Retribution with a car that has been turned over and possibly lit on fire or just smoking. They jump around on the car and yell and scream. They run off. Tom can't understand what Retribution wants. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. This match was pretty good. This match was pretty good. It says the winner of the match, Randy Orton. But after the match, Randy Orton cut a fantastic promo. Randy Orton is the best heel in WWE. Alright, it says after the match, Orton stands tall as the music hits. We come back to Orton posing in the corner as Flair cheers him on from the ring. Flair raised Orton's arm and shows him off to the crowd. Orton wants a mic now. Orton tells Flair to stay here for a minute. Orton wants to ask him for a favor for him to stay put because there has something to talk about and to celebrate. Orton tells Flair to stay put for now. Flair is all smiles as we go back to commercial. This man, Randy Orton cut a fantastic promo. Okay, let me move on. And then all of a sudden, back from the break, and we see how Orton just defeated Owens. Orton is in the ring with Flair now as the music continues. Orton says he has every right to be upset with Flair, but he just can't be angry at the Nature Boy. Orton can't find in his heart, but he has every right to be pissed at Flair because this match with Owen wasn't necessary. Orton says Flair ego got him in this match in the first place last week. Flair looks confused. Orton goes on. So while Randy Orton and Ric Flair having a segment, then all of a sudden Randy Orton attacks Ric Flair. The lights kept flicking on and off. Randy Orton kicks, punts Ric Flair in the head, and then we see the referee and Drew McIntyre running out to check on Ric Flair. So Drew McIntyre got pissed off because Randy Orton attacked Ric Flair, and then Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton were staring each other down, and then Monday Night Raw goes off the air. But like I said, man, this show itself sucks. So that's all I gotta say from here. Humberto Carrillo takes another L. In my opinion, Raw on the ground, not feeling it. Okay, Raw itself sucks. Just like I said earlier, this show itself sucks. But Asuka versus Bayley, that match was good, fantastic match. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, pretty good match. And Bianca Belair versus Selena Vega, that match itself was decent. And Andrade and Angel Garza, I said Angel Garza, I'm sorry. Andrade versus Angelo Dawkins, that match was pretty good itself, but still decent at the same time. Liv Morgan versus Peyton Royce, that match was god awful. Then the Raw on the ground, I was just not feeling it. But anyway, Mickie James returns to Monday Night Raw. I'm glad Mickie James returns to Monday Night Raw. Dominic, the contract signing was great. Samoa Joe was good in the ring. Then Seth Rollins versus Humberto Carrillo. That match was decent by itself. And then Dominic Mysterio signs the contract for SummerSlam. And I'm proud of Dominic Mysterio for standing up for himself. I'm proud of that. So I gotta give WWE credit where credit's due. But anyway, I'm about to get up out of here. If you guys enjoy my WWE Raw review and highlights, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll leave my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok down below in the description. You guys have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later, and I'm out of here.